State of the Union with John King, CNN Sunday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
This past week, President Obama went to Middle America, Peoria, Illinois, to explain his economic rescue packages, he calls it, to the American people and to try to get the vote of one man.
Aaron's still trying to make up his mind about our recovery package. So, he has a chance to be in the mold of Bob Michael, and Ray LaHood. And so we know that all of you are going to talk to him after our event, because he's a very talented young man. I've got great confidence in him to do the right thing for the people of Peoria.
That talented young man President Obama referring to there gets the last word this week. 34 people have been on the Sunday talk shows today. Republican Congressman Aaron Schock gets the last word and joins us now from Illinois. Congressman, you voted no despite a ride on Air Force One, coveted lobbying directly by the President of the United States. He came to your district, went to a factory floor where the men and women vote for you or against you, and yet you decided in the end to vote no. Why, sir?
Well, ultimately, I listened to my constituents, and I looked at what I knew about the bill and determined that it was not in the best interest of my constituents, and it was not really a stimulus bill with the majority of the money going towards stimulating the economy. I thought it was very interesting, the clip that you showed of him encouraging those UAW workers and Caterpillar employees to urge me to vote for it. I stuck around after the president's message, and not a single Caterpillar employee or UAW member came up to me and asked for me to vote for this bill. Conversely, I've had over 1,400 letters, phone calls, and emails just from Caterpillar employees urging me to vote against this bill because they too believe that it's not going to do what we need to do to stimulate the economy.
Congressman, take us behind the curtain. You're the youngest member of Congress, 27 years old if I have it right. You get a ride on Air Force One with the President of the United States. He's from your home state. He's known as a pretty charismatic, persuasive guy. You're on the most amazing airplane in the world being lobbied by the President of the United States. Take us behind the curtain.
Well, it was an amazing experience. And, first of all, I like the president. He's a very good guy. He's from my home state. I want him to be successful. I want to vote for a stimulus bill. I appreciated his hospitality and bringing me along on the trip and bringing me on his plane and all the accoutrements that go with it. But at the end of the day, my responsibility is to the people who gave me this job, my constituents, and my job is to look out for them and ultimately to vote on their best behalf. And, at the end of the day, this stimulus bill had a lot of things in it that had nothing to do with stimulus. Caterpillar employees, Caterpillar tractors will be put to work when we invest in infrastructure. This bill 2 weeks ago that we voted on in the House, over $800 billion, and less than 8% of it went to infrastructure. When it came back after the conference vote, it was down to about 6% for infrastructure. So when you talk about putting Caterpillar workers back to work, selling Caterpillar tractors, investing in our infrastructure, this bill fell short. I also think the process left something to be desired.
You make your case there on the substance. Help me, sir, in the short time we have left. We're still learning a lot about this president. You make a very passionate case there on the substance of this bill and the process, which I believe you do not think was bipartisan nor transparent. But we're trying to learn a lot about this president. You have time with him in private. Is it the hardball, tough sell like a Lyndon Johnson? Is it a soft sell? How does he operate?
Actually, on the plane, he could not have been more cordial. I think that he waited for the hard sell, if you will, in front of the national media. That's when I really got probably both of my arms twisted there in front of hundreds of my constituents and the national press when he had me stand up and, basically asked my constituents to put the pressure on me. But on the plane, in private, it was not, a super hard sell. He was very much of a gentleman, very cordial. But, at the end of the day, the American people got very little time to weigh in on this bill. We had less than 24 hours to look at the bill. And that really defies the president's pledge back in New Hampshire. He said he was going to allow 5 days of sunshine on any bill to come before Congress. And we had less than 24 hours. So, I want to work in a bipartisan way. I'm from a very blue state in Illinois, served in the legislature before I was elected to Congress. I know what it's like to work with people on both sides of the aisle. But bipartisanship is not one party writes the bill and we all vote for it. Bipartisanship means you truly meld together both sides' ideas and come up with a compromise bill. That didn't happen in this case, and ultimately, that's why I voted